Hello, dear viewers. My name is Fardeen Nouri, and I'm an immigration consultant in Germany. Today, I would like to explain for you how and under which conditions the holders of a Duldung or a residence permit based on Section 104C of the Residence Act of Germany can get a residence permit in Germany after 4 or 6 years of their legal residence in Germany because of their sustainable integration in German society. According to Section 25b of the German Residence Act, if you currently have a Duldung or a residence permit based on Section 104c of the Residence Act of Germany, and you have been living legally in Germany since a long period of time, you can get a residence permit in Germany based on your sustainable integration in German society. If you complete the requirements for this type of a residence permit, you can apply for it in your respective foreigner's office, which in German it is called AufenthG, and you can get this residence permit from this office. In fact, if you have a Duldung or a residence permit based on Section 104c of the Residence Act of Germany, and you have been sustainably integrated in German society, you can get a residence permit based on Section 25b of the Residence Act of Germany after completing the following requirements. First, you have already lived with a Duldung, a Gestattung, or with a residence permit in Germany for 6 years without interruption, and you currently have a Duldung. If a child lives with you together, you can complete this requirement after 4 years. It is also not important if this is not your own child. Sometimes, even if you have lived in Germany less than the period of time I just mentioned for you, you can get this residence permit, especially if you're very good integrated in German society. For example, if you have learned a very high level of German language, if you have done an apprenticeship or a vocational training and you have worked in Germany, or if you have worked voluntarily with a community service organization in Germany. It is worth mentioning that a Gestattung is a temporary residence permit which you get it during your asylum procedure in the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, or during the time your complaint about the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany is being processed in the administrative court. Second, you're committed to the free democratic basic order of the Federal Republic of Germany. In addition, you have basic knowledge of the legal and social order and the way of life in Germany. In order to show that you're committed to the free democratic basic order of the Federal Republic of Germany, you must sign a written commitment about it in your foreigner's office. For the validity of this commitment, it is important that an employee of the foreigner's office is present as a witness while you are signing this commitment in this office. In addition, you can show your basic knowledge about the legal and social order and the way of life in Germany through a certificate of an orientation course or a certificate of a German citizenship test based on which you have successfully passed the exam for it. Third, you must either be currently able to insure more than 50% of your living expenses and the living expenses of your household, or it is to be expected that you will be able to do this in the future. Here, the household, which in German it is called Bedarfsgemeinschaft, usually exists in particular when you live together with your spouse and or with your children who are under 25 years of age. If you temporarily receive benefits from the Social Welfare Office or Sozialamt to ensure your living expenses, in some cases it is not problematic. For example, in case you study at a state or at a state-recognized university, or do an apprenticeship or a vocational training, or take part in a state-sponsored training which prepares you for an apprenticeship, a vocational training, or for an employment. Or if you have minor children and need supplementary social benefits because of the needs of the children, or because you can only work to a lesser extent because of the children. Or if you're a single parent and it is impossible or unreasonable for you based on the law to work. Or if you're taking care of one of your family members or one of your close relatives who is in need of care. These persons can especially be your spouse, one of your parents, one of your siblings, or in some cases, they can also be your other relatives. When you apply for this type of a residence permit, it will be then in individual cases assessed by your relevant German authority whether the person in need of care is considered your close relative or not. Fourth, you have an oral knowledge of German language at level A2. You can show your knowledge of German language with a language certificate, for example, from an integration course or the result of a placement test at a German language course, or you can also prove the required German language level, for example, if you're able to have simple conversations in German at the foreigner's office without an interpreter. In addition, if you have been to school successfully for 4 years in Germany, or you have graduation certificate from a secondary school, which in German means Hauptschule, or a certificate of a higher grade from a school in Germany, or you have done an apprenticeship or a vocational training in German language, you can show your knowledge of German language through a certificate from one of them. If you cannot speak or learn German language because of a physical, mental, or emotional illness or disability, or for reasons of age, in this case, a proof of the knowledge of German language is not required. However, if necessary, you must provide medical certificates to prove your illness or disability. Fifth, if you have children of school age, you must prove with a certificate from their school that your children are actually going to school. Sixth, your identity must be clear. And seventh, you must have a valid passport of your country of origin. The foreigner's office may, at its discretion, issue the residence permit even if your national passport is not available, and ignore or waive this requirement. If you have fulfilled the requirements I just mentioned for you, you can apply for this type of a residence permit in your respective foreigner's office or AufenthG for yourself, your spouse, and your children. It is recommendable to apply for this type of a residence permit with the help of a lawyer or an asylum procedure counseling office. It is worth mentioning that you can also get this type of a residence permit for yourself, your spouse, and your children if you have already had a Beschäftigungsduldung, which in English means a Duldung for a work or an employment for 30 months. Those who are interested to know more about the Beschäftigungsduldung and how they can get this type of a residence permit through a Beschäftigungsduldung can refer to my other video about the Beschäftigungsduldung in my YouTube channel. I will also put the link of the video about the Beschäftigungsduldung under this video for you.